This video clip is from last night's preseason game, Leafs and Ottawa, and a couple of things I saw that I thought were good, teachable moments that I could share with you. Um, the first part is a little bit of defensive zone positioning. In this case, a breakdown and a misassignment between I guess the one of the wingers and the defense. Um, as well as a some great heads up decision making on the part of Ottawa, actually, because Ottawa ends up scoring in this clip. Um, but I thought it was a great decision, a pass back to the point, and defense shooting from zone one. So we'll I'll show you that in a second. Just to start, though, I want to draw and show the reminder of what we've talked about either at preseason camp or whiteboard or whatever. The quadrants here, the top quadrants are sections for the defensive zone where I would expect or be expecting our wingers to be. So in this case, Marner's here. He's the right winger. He's in the bottom corner of his quadrant. I'm assuming the defenseman for Ottawa is going to be up here somewhere out of camera. The puck has just been shot at the net by Ottawa, and there's going to be a rebound. So you can see here 52 for Ottawa is going to the puck to get the rebound. So you can see just contextually where people are positioning. Now, this is Bertuzzi. He's the left winger for this line, and he maybe on a back check or something, he ends up down low for whatever reason, and he's now in more of the role of a defenseman. Giordano, the actual defenseman, is over here more or less now assuming the role of the winger, trying to cover that quadrant and perhaps covering any pass or whatever to this. In this case, it's a winger. The defenseman here is going to be out of scene, out of camera view, but you'll see how the play develops. There's going to be a little bit of a breakdown, but there's some good stuff and bad stuff. We'll go through it now. So as I roll through the clip, you'll see the rebound, and the Ottawa player picks up the puck and escapes. And part of the concern or issue now is Giordano has now assumed his defensive role, so he's moved in. And what's interesting here, what's great, is the Ottawa player now, the winger, has moved into an F3 high slot position. Nobody's really engaging or covering him at this point, and Bertuzzi is going to give chase behind the net. And, in this case, I'd like to see if that's going to happen. Chasing is always a tricky thing, but if that's going to happen, you'd like to see maybe the defenseman or even in this case, Matthews here, the center, supporting. But in this case, Giordano moves into his defensive role in front, and you've got Kokkonen here, the other defenseman. So we'll see. We'll progress it. We'll progress the video. Now, the Ottawa player, look at that. I love this. Your F3 is right here. I don't mind Marner. Marner's moving. He's cycling a bit. He's not standing still. He's going to move in the event that there's any kind of, pass back to the D. He's covering the bottom part of the quadrant there that he's covering. But what's interesting here is I love this look right here. He sees that F3 there. Nobody's covering him. And unfortunately, you've got Kokkonen now is going to jump in, and obviously Bertuzzi is already chasing. So watch this as it progresses, comes around, and Matthews is over here, so there's no pressure on anybody here. And the Ottawa player even does a little bit of a no-look pass. He's already looked. So at this point, he can double-check his puck on his stick, and you're going to see a beautiful pass here to F3. Now, the pass is going to end up on his backhand, just with a little bit of the pressure. And so the Ottawa winger here turns to catch it on his backhand. Now, another thing of note, we've got two players here now caught down below our goal line here, and one of them's a winger. And Giordano now recognizes, we got a guy high slot here who's got the puck, and so he's going to engage. Now, feeling that pressure, the Ottawa player, rather than just throwing the puck back to the net, which is, obviously at younger ages and such, everybody feels that need to always throw the puck at the net, always throw it. This is a little bit of it's actually a lot of a low percentage play. There's some traffic here. Backhand isn't always your strongest play, that's for sure, especially when your forehand is much stronger. He can also decide to backhand it to the corner. Again, he's got this pressure coming this way. So what I love, and this is actually what made me want to capture this clip and share it with everybody, more so than the out of position stuff that led up to this, is I love this. So he gets control and he looks up. Now he sees his defense are open. There is no pressure at this point. We've got all 5 Leafs down here, down below the hash marks here. And even though, Marner's here checking his D, he's looking at it. He knows that he's got that coverage, but this guy in the middle is completely open. So I love this heads up play. The pass doesn't always need to be, or shot doesn't always have to happen when you've got the puck, right? So we say pass when you can, not when you have to. So that's a beautiful pass. And then this is when some action happens. So the Ottawa player then shifts this way, knowing that his defenseman is going to walk the line, back it up to try to get a shot from zone 1, which we talk about in our preseason. We talk about that. And naturally, the Leaf players are going to collapse into the middle lane here. We've got our center and our winger. Winger down low, like I said, if he had been up here, then he could give pressure here and persuade him not to make that shot. But you'll see him walk the line here. Beautiful. And now he's looking. He sees all of this traffic. While he's looking, he sees all this traffic in front. And look at this guy, beautifully positioned. Wall is trying to look around him, right? He's screened. Now he's got the additional screen of the players in front of him, both teams. And now this shot right here, I like the player in front, turns. He's still screening, turns to try to get a tip. I'm not sure if he actually tipped it or not. And that puck ends up in the back of the net. And to me, that's a textbook scenario that started obviously from a breakdown in the defensive zone for the Leafs. And a nice look there. Look to the front of the net. High slot guy, F3, gets a pass. Not the best pass on his backhand. Still gets it there. Gets his head up. Pass back to the point. Walk the line. Beautiful screen. And look at that. It ends up in the back of the net. Great example. I wanted to share that with you.